All right. It shows we are live, so I'm going to assume we are live. Welcome, everybody, to another live stream. It is what, Wednesday? Wednesday, here, time for a stream. I was a little late getting this notification up and out. I apologize for that. Kind of turned into a busy day. So first, there's a couple things I want to address before we kind of get into what's on my mind. Tonight's topic is kind of one of those things like what's on my mind. Adjust this, making sure everything kind of looks good and sharp for you. Where's I going? Right. Okay. So hopefully the audio is working. Hopefully the camera's working. And we are definitely going to kind of talk about tonight's sponsor. So it should be known by now that I am sponsored by Houston Manzanita. Adam has been very generous in helping me with hardscape and different things. That's where all of my hardscape has come from. Adam's also sent me out the pleco caves and the zebra breeding tank behind us. But Adam just launched some new swag. Check this shirt out too. It's a very nicely done t-shirts. Beautiful t-shirt. It fits really well, and I'm a husky guy now, so I like the fit of it. It's very soft. It is not at all like itchy or anything like a normal cotton tee is. So he's put some time and quality on these. But while I'm doing this, oh, come on. I want to, hopefully you can see this. All right. So this is the Houston Manzanita website, and I say we are definitely going to give Adam some love here, as he is an absolute sponsor of the channel, the Fish Room. He's done a lot of good for me. So I wanted to show off his website a little bit so you can see what we got going on. And then I will also put it in the chat that Wel-Don 20 is 20% off the entire order. So if you go to HoustonManzanita.com and use the code Wel-Don20, it'll give you 20% off your entire order across the entire website. Let's say this is where I got all of my hardscape from. So he's got Adam's garage is literally all hardscape, and he's got some incredible pieces. So anytime people ask me where's a good place to get Manzanita wood, where's a good place to get some ghost wood, spider wood, some stone, Adam is your guy. He's got some incredible pieces in for some really good prices. Like, check this piece out right here. Let's look at this. So this is an 18 to 20 inch piece of ghosted, but look at the coloration on that. Like, that is some good stuff. You can tell that he uses some nice, references, gives you some accurate information of what this is actually going to entail. So when you're planning out your tank, but you can get down into some nano pieces, he's got some wood on here that I've never even heard about. Let's go check out some Manzanita pieces that he has. So if you're looking for large show pieces, if you're looking for some smaller nano pieces, the tank above me, my Back to Nature aquarium that I called it for the video, that was all sponsored by Houston Manzanita. The Sirius stone came from that. The Ghostwood actually piece came from that, and there's a piece of nano spiderwood in there. It looks absolutely incredible. And then a tank up in the corner of this stream, kind of the very corner. You really haven't seen much of that yet. That is all sponsored by Houston Manzanita. But then let's go check out his new swag. Check this out. So he's got, the times we're in right now, he's got some face covers. So if you want something different, face cover, a fun one, there's some good ones. We've got the hoodies, we've got some long tees, short sleeve tees, V-necks, all different kinds of things with a bunch of different color options. So again, the code Wel-Don20 will get you 20% off your entire order. So I can't thank Adam enough for everything he's done for me. Looks like we got Fish Room Fever in the house. I appreciate you being here, my man. Looks like you got, I think Fish Room Fever's got an unboxing plan coming up. I was cruising Instagram today and seen what he's got going on there. And got some cool things headed that way. All right. So it's been a busy day. Been a very busy day in the fish room. It's fortunate to have today off and tomorrow off. So I've been working on some things down here in the fish room. Carrie, thank you for being here. And then I think I've talked about this previously in one of my live streams, but I promise I don't do drugs. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. I promise I don't do drugs. I have Tourette's, so that's why I make some fun noises, I like to call them. You know, I've again. So Corey with Aquarium Co-op, fantastic guy. Shared out one of my videos again, which I'm very grateful for. It brought in a lot of good, content. Well, some good views to the channel. And it was all about the new airline by Aquarium Co-op. I'm going to be using this tonight. But once again, though, from that, more attention equals more comments equals more people thinking I do drugs and I'm a drug addict. I'm not. So there's a lot more comments coming in of like, oh, I thought you just had a really bad habit. Nope, I have Tourette's, so that's where my fun noises come from. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's get on to some actual conversation here. I don't want to talk about me doing drugs because I don't. Where are we at? We are extremely close to 2,000 subscribers. I think we're almost 200 off, which I'm going to say is extremely close because where we started to where we are now, that's an incredible number to be coming up on. So for sure, I have a giveaway plan when we reach that 2,000. I want to do something kind of like a mystery box type of thing. My wife is helping me out on planning this. We've actually already started working on a kind of, we'll call it a prototype for one of the items that will be going in that. And I kind of, what we plan on doing is when we're like 50 subscribers away or 100 subscribers away, wherever we are, to that 2,000 mark, we're going to be sharing up like quick snippets of each item that's going to be going into the box to provide kind of a really fun unboxing for somebody. But then the ultimate thing that's going to be going into that giveaway is if I have enough in the fish room, but I think with what I've got going on right now, when that time comes, I'll be able to offer more, is I will be offering up a trio of your choice of fish for my fish room. Now, when I say of your choice, I'm going to set some choices you'll pick from those. I'm not just going to have a choice of like everything in here, but I should hopefully have between the endlures I have, between some guppies I have, my cribenzas I have, my swordtails, some German blue rams, all the wild type live bears I have. Hopefully there will be something to kind of meet somebody's niche and want that we can send a trio out. So we definitely got that working on. Say we're so close to that 2,000 subscribers. But again, I have to, the support that everybody has given me has been absolutely phenomenal. Very humbling. In fact, actually, like, I cannot thank everybody enough for the support you've all given me. It's because of your support, I was actually able, and I'm still working on it tonight. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm adding 4 new tanks to the fish room tonight. So we have the space for it. That's what this rack over here is for. So this is that DIY rack we set up, and then I actually have some more room on the initial rack we set up. But because of your guys' support through live streams and through just watching the videos in general, it was your support that allowed me to add those 4 tanks tonight. So I know that the $1 per gallon sale at Petco is coming up soon, and that's what I'm going to probably finish getting the rest of the tanks for the fish room. But I have an opportunity right now to purchase some new fish for the fish room that I really want, that I think would be a great addition to the hobby. I think would be fun to offer up, breed in here, offer them up. That's kind of going into tonight's topic of what's buzzing around my brain tonight. But I was out of space. When I got this opportunity, I initially said no because I was out of space. But then because of you guys, I now have the space. I now have the opportunity to bring in some new species to the fish room, which I'm very excited about. And, part of which is, like the waterfront's helping me out. So again, guys, I've spent some time at the waterfront again this week. I've got another video of the waterfront coming out this Friday, which is super cool. God, Lewis is such a good guy. Like, it's so much fun hanging out with Lewis in the waterfront. It's I've always enjoyed going to fish stores, but now when I go to the waterfront, like half the time I just go hang out. Like half the time, like I'm just there to hang out and I'm taking up his time. But he's working. So the video coming out this Friday is actually an unboxing. Very excited for that. And then with Lewis, we were working on bringing in some black German rams. So that's the main thing that I've kind of been keeping a secret, is we were really focusing in on trying to bring in some black German rams. Lewis tried 3 times for me. That's how dedicated this guy is. When you tell him you want something, he is that guy. He's going to get it for you. So the first 2 shipments were lost. Don't ask me how you lose a big box of fish, but hey, that's what happened apparently. The 3rd shipment came in, and these were not black rams. Like, they were nothing of what a black ram should be. And then unfortunately, they were packaged very poorly from the wholesaler, and none of them survived. So we talked. I do know that there is some in Utah somewhere. Through Lewis, we were kind of able to we were kind of able to figure out that somebody has them in Utah, and they paid a lot of money to get them, and apparently they're straight from Israel. So there is some black rams in Utah. There's somebody that has them. There's somebody that's breeding them. So we kind of made a small connection to get those. But for the time being, I've decided to focus in on just the German blue rams. Now, I was very fortunate that Lewis provided me with that initial pair, which is beautiful. And I think I lost the male. Very unfortunate. But then through Aquabid, I found an excellent breeder back east that I purchased a pair from him. And very, very happy he sent me out an extra female. So I now think I have 1 male and 3 females. So I'm trying to pair the original female to my new male. And the new male is just as good as the male I got from Lewis. So very happy for that. We're going to be working on those. But then in place of the black rams, me and Lewis were talking, and he is bringing in some platinum angelfish for me. Really excited to get those in. So I'm definitely going to start trying some angelfish, trying to get those going here in this water. I think the platinums are beautiful. Yes, there's kind of my initial spiel. Let's get back to the chat, because I know I'm losing some people. Oh, and anybody, I know I always appreciate the live people with me, but then anybody who's going to be watching this on after the fact, I can't thank you enough. Like, it's incredible how many views my live streams get after the fact. So thank you again. I appreciate all of you. It's because of everybody here that I'm able to continue my expansion, and we've got some new things coming in my head we're talking about. Maria, thank you for being here. That is the Aquatic Monkey Business. They're working on some good things over there. And those girls, man, they have so much fun doing these tanks. It's awesome. Adam's Aquaculture, thank you for being here. When you had your Fahaka puffer, did it ever get a bloody cut-up mouth from feeding at mystery snails? I fed mine some mystery snails today. I noticed that her mouth was bleeding. That's interesting. So at the time that I had my Fahaka puffer, I never actually fed it mystery snails because I didn't have any. But I fed it ramshorn snails and Malaysian trumpet snails all the time. With my previous Mabu puffer, I did feed him a lot of mystery snails because I had them and they were breeding like crazy, and I never noticed an issue with it. The only thing I can think about is that shell caught it at a really weird angle, but that's what puffers are built for, is just to munch down everything and put it out the other end. So that's really surprising. Keep an eye on it. Maybe hit it with some is the general killer or erythromycin, whatever it's going to be. Like, make sure it doesn't fungus up or anything. But that is surprising. That is really surprising, actually, that happened. Carrie, I feel sorry you need to explain yourself. I know it's the way of our world, but we should just be able to be ourselves to that question. Just my opinion. Well, I appreciate that, Carrie. I do. And that's why I didn't spend a long rant on it. Is we're not here to discuss my shortcomings. We're here to talk fish and nerd out together. And boy, oh boy, am I about ready to nerd out tonight, because we got some things cooking in the fish room, and I'm very excited to see what we got here. Damn, I guess, Aqua. Close enough. Thanks for being here. It's the first time I've seen you here. I appreciate it. Coral Bandit on Aquabid has great quality Black Knight rams. He is who I got my pair from. I may look into that. So I've kind of poked around Aquabid a little bit to see the black rams. I was kind of weighing my options. I just wasn't ready to pull the trigger on them yet for kind of 2 reasons. Couple reasons. We'll say 3 reasons. One, I really want to support my local fish store, the waterfront. Saying that, though, I definitely have bought a lot of things off Aquabid, so I'm interested in looking to that. 2, at the time that I've looked at them, but I am going to be taking that name down. I'm going to be putting that in my notes. I catalog a lot of information you guys give me for future use. I wasn't ready to spend the money on them just yet. So part of the, yeah, I just wasn't ready to spend that money yet. And then the third reason is I finally made the decision of I want to get some experience under my belt with the regular German blue rams before I, throw hundreds of dollars at like the Black Knight rams and end up losing them. So with now the setup I have for the German blues, I'm hoping to start cranking some fish out there. If I have success there, I think that's when I'm really going to look into the Knights. Yeah, Jason Smith, I don't think I've seen you here either, man. I appreciate you being here. I know Dean definitely has that, and trust me, when I saw the Aquarium Co-op video of him bringing the Knights, the Black Knight Rams or the Midnight Rams, he calls them, to Corey's shop, if I was in the position to jump on a plane the next morning, I would have been there and I would have bought every single one of them. That I would have spent the money on. So I would love to get some, but if we're definitely here in Utah, there I know of one guy that has them. But me and Lewis were kind of secretly hoping that we were going to be one of the first ones. But anyways, that's where we're at. So really going to focus on these Germans, and then we'll go from there. Kind of focus on that here. Adam Gambarudi is in the house. That is Mr. Hughes and Mananita himself. And it's funny. Carrie, you asked me, any ideas on a common pleco cave, where to get? Why, yes. Yes, I do. Let me show you, in fact, here. We're going to do this. 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 We're going to come here to HoustonManzanita.com. I think it's underneath the dry goods and accessories. I hope. Uh-oh. Adam, I haven't spent enough time on your site. All right. Here we go. I recommend Houston Manzanita for your pleco needs and all of your pleco care. So I love these large D-shaped caves. There's also some really cool ones. These triangle curves will probably be good for you. It depends on how big your pleco is. I know that you can get massive, but I would start with one of these large D-shaped caves. I'm actually using some in this tank behind me. Let me pull you back here to here. So this tank right behind me, all of these caves in this tank came from Houston Manzanita. So they have a lot of good options. And if you use the code Wel-Don20, you can get 20% off your entire order. So if you're looking for a pleco cave, go check out Houston Manzanita, purchase up some from there. He's got some good stuff. He's got some great stuff. And Adam, the fish room is coming along nicely. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're up and running. So I still need to show, you can see the very corner of it. All the fish are schooling right here because that's where the hang in the back filter is. If you follow Guppy Guru, this will be your first chance to see this tank. Peter's coming over tomorrow to film the first official tour of the fish room here at Wel-Don Tanks. And then I will be doing a full breakdown video of this on my channel. But that tank is going to be freaking incredible. That came together very well. I'm hoping I may not do my own for another month, maybe. Oh, it's a long time, but I want it to look good, But I also don't want to skip out on showing people what can happen to wood when you put in a tank either. So I don't know. We may film a quick video of it here shortly. Let's see. Yeah, Lefty, I agree with you. All the fish that Dean brought into that and from that video, any chance I could get Dean's fish, I absolutely would. I mean, I will go back up to Aquarium Co-op one day. We'll see, though. Just depends on when. Let's see. Emmanuel, is Manzanita driftwood okay for plecos? Manzanita driftwood is one of the best things for plecos. So a lot of plecos, I'm working on, I have some juveniles of the L44 long fin lemon blue eye plecos, lemon blue eyes. They are grazing on a piece of wood all day long. So plecos, we kind of look at them as the cleanup crew of the tank, right? The sucker fish kind of a thing. But if you put in that piece of wood, it's going to get a nice biofilm across it. But a lot of plecos actually need the wood in their diet. They're going to go sit there and just graze on that all day long. And I say, yes, Manzanita driftwood is excellent for plecos. It's not going to hurt anything from them, but it's going to allow them to go and graze on it. If you have something like a royal pleco, that thing will make a mess in your tank. I mean, that thing will literally chew through wood. like the juveniles that I have up in the top tank right now, they munch on that thing all day long. So I highly recommend. Once again, Emmanuel, Houston Manzanita, Wel-Don 20, get you 20% off your entire order. Lefty, you are correct, sir. So he's asking if those are Harlequin Rasboras right here. So I'll kind of break the news. So I have Harlequin Rasboras and Ember Tetras in that tank, and they look awesome. They look great. And Emmanuel Adams recommending some Ghost Wood. It's a much thicker wood, and I do have an unboxing on my video from Ghost Wood. It's called I think I've entitled it like the Massive Unboxing from Houston Manzanita. It's when I was planning on doing my 220 gallon, but it definitely shows you some things of what Adam offers. Is Ghostwood is incredible. Like Ghostwood is people need to know about that thing because, like, man, it looks so good in a tank. That's why I kept some small pieces to throw around in some tanks still because couldn't get away with that. Adam, that is the Papau wood. So this 22-gallon rimless tank up here is the Papau wood. Papau? I'm going to say a Papau. It is awesome. Came together very well. Lefty, if I ever go to the co-op, it'll be a cross-country drive for me. I'm going to bring buckets for air pumps and air stones, probably heaters too because I know I'm going to be buying fish. So it's 16 hours one way for me. Got to give you an idea. So when I drove up there and brought home that Mabu puffer, Adam's correcting me. It's Papua. All right, Papua. Scientific names, whatever. The Papua wood. Still amazing. So, yeah, 16 hours one way for me to the co-op. So when I drove up there, I actually bought a air pump while I was there, an air stone, all that. I got everything hooked up in my car. If I do it again, you better believe I'm going to be having like 6 of the Nano USB air pumps with me, ready to rock and roll. Let's see here. The Aquarium Cowboy, welcome. Or some say, howdy. Don't know if I've seen you in the stream either. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. So Sharon, the tank behind me. So I have two. Which tank you talking about? I got a couple tanks behind me. If it is this tank behind me, you're going to have to wait. It's incredible, though. So this plant right here, I got a video coming out. It's going to blow some people's minds. I'm hoping that this one video about this one plant, I'm hoping I get like rage comments on. I'm excited for this one. But you can kind of see the fish cruising around back here. Let's just put it this way. This is an experiment gone right, and I'm a freaking genius. Kidding. That's very, very arrogant of me. All right, so Sharon is Adam. So Adam's asking what lighting is going on that long. So Adam, I've actually done the video on that. I'm using 2 10-watt LED floodlights on that. Mounting them against the wall, they're kind of angling down into the tank, so it gives a really nice spotlight effect with some shadows. It looks sharp. It looks really sharp. I thought about using a couple of the Asta 20 LED lights, because I do have a review on my channel, and I know that's where Adam found them for me, and then he's using them on one of his incredible setups, and everybody in that Facebook group is often asking about what lights he's using, and I highly recommend the Asta 20 LED light. I'm still using it. It's a fantastic budget LED light, like $40, and that thing is intense. All right, so Sharon is asking if I'm going to tell you about the babies, and that's kind of what is in my brain right now. So let's see here. Did you ask if I'm going to show, or if I'm going to? Yes, tell us about the new babies. So if you're following on me on Instagram at Wel-Don Tanks, you would have seen today that my Kohaku Swordtails dropped me some fry today. And my gosh. So I came down this morning when my daughter got up, did a quick feeding of the tanks, went back upstairs. And when my wife got up, we had some people measuring for carpet in our basement. So the basement's almost done. We're still working on that. And then I stepped into the fish room and I looked up in that tank. And I knew that the female was going to be dropping fry soon. Like, I've never seen a female just that big before, but it also is, swordtails are much bigger body fish. But it was like, I was honestly worried about how big she was. So I came back in and I saw fry everywhere. I mean, just everywhere. So from one of Corey's previous live streams, he was talking about how swordtails are very notorious for eating fry. And this is actually the second time they've spawned for me. The first time was before we were in this fish room, and I just didn't have a chance to get to the babies, and I had one surviving fry from that. One, it's still in that tank. So I decided to pull all the fry, move them to a 10-gallon tank for hopefully like maximum results in raising them, actually, getting some good fry to grow out. So I pulled all the fry. I was using a turkey baster. I was down here for like an hour and a half just pulling fry and put them all into a specimen container. So there's actually this one right here. So I put them all into this. So that picture is the underside shot. And that was my first experience trying to count fry. It was intense. But in that first initial pull, I counted over 70 fry. 70. It was insane. So then I had to go do some quick errands. I came back to get working on the fish room again. And I looked in the tank again, and I think there's a good chance that I missed some because there is a big patch of Java moss in there and some, the ghost wood. But I also think that she wasn't done, giving birth yet. Is that I started pulling more fry out. I pulled another 30 plus fry out of the tank. So that one female in one drop gave me over 100 fry. It was insane. Insane. It was like, I knew that they were laid, very, from the time that I saw them to when they were actually laid, I knew I was within minutes. Just that they were still kind of laying on the bottom. Then the second batch that I got to, they were more free swimming, but they're doing really well now. They've already eaten down some live big brine shrimp. So everything is going great on that. Like this is this brine hatcher. I've been hatching brine shrimp daily since I got it. And my gosh, like I'm getting some massive results of those brine shrimp. So everything is looking fat and healthy in the fish room with that baby brine going in. My crebensis that I was geeking out on the last live stream, the females in that tank, the bellies are so pink right now. So we have got to be expecting some babies from those crebensis anytime now, which I'm really happy about. I've got endlers in the fish room dropping fry. My new trio of guppies have dropped fry. I've got one surviving in there. So like things are moving. Things are moving. It's very exciting to see what we got going on here. But so from that swordtail drop, it's actually kind of one of those things of, it's kind of what got my brain thinking about this. That's why I entitled the live stream that I did, am I a live bearer nerd now? Because you heard me rant and rave about how I just love I broke it. But I do enjoy that comment there. A garbage can for the comment. Yeah. All right. So all right, here we go. So you've heard me ranting and raving about, rice fish, right? There's rice fish. I love rice fish. I love Medaka rice fish. They are absolutely some of the best. We'll always love rice fish. That's actually, I have a new species of rice fish in the fish room. And I was actually working on bidding on Aquabid for some of those same rice fish, plus some of those Red King Yamas. And I backed out when the price, so the rice fish I have, when I backed out of that auction, when the price for the ones I was bidding on now tripled what I originally paid for the first ones. So that was kind of when I backed out of those. Then the Red King Yamas, I backed out when that price got astronomically high. So when I say I love Medakas, but then today I really started thinking about it of, I love live bears. Now when I say that, most people are going to think like guppies. Don't get me wrong. Love guppies. That's why I bought a trio. I wanted at least one tank of guppies in the fish room. I think they're fun to play with. I think they're beautiful fish, especially the ones I got. Man, they look good. Carrie, thanks for being here, though. I appreciate you. Hopefully we'll catch you on the replay. So you have a good night. Adam says, have you thought about doing a Central American biotope tank with focus on the Hellerai? Sounds incredible, Adam. So I've thought about doing some more biotope tanks in the fish room, but my main goal is breeding. So we'll see, though. I may have to. You got me thinking, because that's one of the things I'm going to talk about in the stream is where we're actually streaming. So where my computer screen is, where I set up a little table, the microphone, the camera, and all that. I'm thinking of no longer actively live streaming in the fish room, or finding a different way to do it in the fish room. Because how I set up is very mobile, but I also have a second monitor mounted to the wall that I kind of pull out that I can hide away. But I'm debating on doing this exact same shelving system on this wall, and that would allow me to move this 20 long the swordtails are into this wall, and then it will allow me to move the 20 long I'm going to be using as that fry system to this wall. Then I could add 7 additional 10-gallon tanks in the fish room, which would give me a lot more space, which I'm very excited about. So, Adam, it sounds like the space is going to be my biggest issue. I've been confined to this room, as my wife says it, but I'm still very happy with what I have. So with those changes, that would allow me to add in 7 more additional tanks than what I'm planning on right now. And then it comes down to, that would give me room for more knock down a wall. Adam, I built these walls. I don't want to knock down these walls, man. I spent blood, sweat, and tears in building these walls. So more tanks, more species, more things I can work with. But like the Zonica dodrii live bears that I have, more of a wild type live bear that I have, I'm in love with that fish. I have some Amica splendens, or the butterfly Goodyead, or the Goodyead butterfly. I think it's butterfly Goodyead. That Lewis hit me up one day. He's like, "Hey, I got some Amica splendens coming in. You interested?" I was like, "Yes, man." Like, put those on hold for me. So I got those, moving those to a 10-gallon tonight. And I catch myself more and more that I'm in love with the live bears that aren't like your guppies, your mollies, your platies. But don't get me wrong, I have one platy in the fish room. It's absolutely incredible. But like the swordtails, it's a live bear, but it's just something different. I like the big body of the swordtail, and that's super cool. Like, why they're called the swordtail, that's absolutely incredible to me. So I thought about bringing in some swordtails from Greg Sage from Select Aquatics. That he's got the sword that has the longest tail out of all the swordtails. Like, that would be cool to bring in. There's one of the fish I'm going to be bringing in. That's why I'm happy I can expand some tanks. Is another wild type live bear. Wild Fish Tanks has some live bears I want. So there's a bunch of wild type live bears I just don't think get the credit they deserve. And I think they're super cool fish. Like, I think when people are looking like a 10-gallon tank, right? Like you say, hey, you can do a 10-gallon tank. Why not try this wild type live bear? Maybe it's just something different for people to look at. Adam, I do not know if they're still on the CARES list. So I actually don't spend much time looking at the CARES list. I know Peter with Guppy Guru is really focused on that CARES list, and it's a great thing. So I'll have to look into that. Big Tank Hank in the house. I appreciate you being here, my man. It's good to see you. Manuel, anyone know if it's okay to put Eco Complete on top of sand, or should I just completely replace the substrate in my aquarium? So, Manuel, you can add it on top. You're not going to run into any kind of issues with it. It's just going to be looks. So I have done the mixture of Eco Complete, trying to add it on top of sand, and I didn't like the look of it, but it didn't hinder anything in my tank. Even if you gravel vac it, you're still going to suck up some of the sand. You're never going to go away from that. But it's one of those things, like, I just didn't like the look. But in this tank up here, you can kind of tell I did put down some Eco Complete. I put sand over it, and some of it's starting to kind of settle out. But for whatever reason, I like it in this tank. I'm odd that way. But I don't think you're going to have any issue if you put it over it. No. Big Tank Hank says Heterandrii famosa in the house. Let's take a look at that. That sounds like a cool fish, which I hope is a cool fish. We're going to do a quick Google search, and you're probably going to give me a fish that I want to keep. The least killifish. See, I'm learning these scientific names. Yes, so there's actually First Coast Tropical in Florida, I think it's called. I've really thought about bringing in some least killifish from them. That is the world's smallest live bear, and it's just something different. Primetime Aquatics did a really cool tank with the least killifish, the Heterandria famosa. I think they did like a 3-gallon bookshelf tank. It was really interesting. So they're tiny little fish that but again, like, it's something that most people just don't keep. So my goal of the fish room is absolutely to breed some fish. I've already had Lewis contact me about the the swordtail to drop today. You know, Peter with Guppy Guru wants some of those swords. So my goal is to breed things that I can fund the fish room with, but I also want to breed things that I'm passionate about. Because the moment that I turn this into every tank is full of this one species, then I don't really care about them, but hey, it makes me money, I'm out. Like it's no fun at that point. You know, right now I have such enjoyment down here because I'm checking on the brams. I have 100 fry from the swordtails. The guppies are laying fry. The endlers have fry. You know, the Exotico Dodri I have fry. The guppies hopefully have fry. You know, the Crebensis are working on fry. Just all these different things that I'm just really interested about that I want to try. And, you know, aquatic monkey business, you know, Maria says they have a bunch of these killifish. That's something I've been debating on bringing in. And if I do another shelf on this wall and move the live stream out to because we're the family room area, the basement, we're going to have kind of an office area. I'm thinking about live streaming there. I have a room upstairs in my house I could set up in a live stream area. But the con is I lose the background of this. So the con is I really enjoy this, right? That I enjoy during a live stream. I can point. I can kind of talk about some things, and I enjoy. I think as Maria said to Sharon, I'm teasing you. Like I enjoy that you get to see this, but I don't tell you about everything yet. I enjoy you kind of catch this corner and you get to see that Harlequin rasboris. But the pro is that I get to bring more species into the fish room. So I'm back and forth. Really back and forth on what I want to do. Yeah, big tank. I know, like least killers won't make money, but it's something though, right? It still is that cool least killy fish that I kind of have that I can do. Lifty says, set up a camera in the fish room and then put your webcam over the footage so you can still point to things. You're talking a lot of technical things that I may have to figure out. We'll see. It sounds like a cool idea. Because I do have the webcam or the security cam in here. Just don't know if it'll work. Adam says, what is your recommendation for fry food? So my recommendations, let's see what I got. Oh, I can't reach that. So the first one is going to be the fry food by Aquarium Co-op. I love that food. I have fed that food all over the place, and all my fish like it. All my fish eat it. I've had good growth rates off of those. Really like that food. And then next to that is going to be the Sarah Micron. Now, the difference is with the Sarah Micron, it's like $13 for this little bottle. Now, there is a bunch of food in here because this is more of a powder type food. So this I also fed to the new swordtail fry today. They took it. They took some of the co-op food today. They took some of the baby brine today. So between this and the co-op food are kind of my two favorites. The co-op is much cheaper. And then, you know, the Extreme Nano. I like the Extreme Nano for fish when they're bigger. To me, it's a bigger pellet size than I would say than the co-op food is, or the definitely than the Sarah Micron. So it's Sarah Micron and the Aquarium Co-op dry. So those two dry foods are my go-tos. And then if you can do it, and it's just like Marlin Chaser 87 just says, is the live baby brine. So if you have the option of hatching live baby brine, and that's an actual option for you, my fish in the fish room have been looking better. They've been eating better. They look healthy. They just look healthier. They just all around just look better since I have started hatching out live baby brine every day and feeding them that. Like, they absolutely look incredible. Adam, I have not tried the decapsulated brine shrimp eggs. I'm actually just using the ones from Brine Shrimp Direct right now. That's a local company to me, so I don't necessarily get them cheaper, but I just have easier access to them. Let's see. Lefty, how big is that Micron food? Because the size the co-op sells is $4.99. So the Micron total comparison, I think, is slightly smaller than the co-op food, but I have fed the co-op food to everything like live bear status. But when you get down into like the rice fish fry, they will take the co-op food, but it's that initial 3 days, right? That first couple days, I noticed better results with the Sarah Micron. So that's why I have it, is just for the tiny, tiny fry. But the co-op food, like the swordtail fry, they're actually bigger than a rice fish fry. So they were able to take that co-op food right away And so I highly recommend that food. Oh, how many ounces? I don't know. Gotta look. Should we check to see if it says not for human consumption? 0.8 ounces. So your actual like price comparison to what you can buy for the co-op food versus this, yes, the co-op food is more bang for your buck. Absolutely. I just keep the Ceramicron around for very specific things, very specific things. Let's see. Sharon says, I'm not having good luck with my orange medacas. I have 4 babies and I lost the mama. I have 6 adults now. I have baby Daisy rice fish too. I think I'm going. Sorry to hear about your rice fish. That is rough. That's absolutely rough. I did a thing and I purchased some orange rice fish the other day. They came in today. I wanted to add in some bloodline. So I purchased some through Aquatic Arts, brought in 6 more. I think the ones I had bought previously more and more of a short body, so I wanted to add in some regulars. They came in looking good. Still no fry from them. I do need to get, I think the moment though I pull a mop out of my gold medacas, I'll have babies galore. And then, let's see here. Marie, I think you're talking about your least killer fish. You started with 3 in February and now have over 20. Yeah, they breed like crazy. And that's one thing I'm liking more and more about these live bears. Like, but it's the wild types. Like that's what I'm liking so much. It's like my Exotica Dodrii. When they dropped fry, I had 11 fry. Not a huge drop, right? Versus the 100 I just got out of the swordtails. But it's something that I want to bring into the hobby. And my thought process is, if I can bring them in and offer them to people, maybe at a better price than what they could get elsewhere, or just make them more available. Like that's my goal. That's what I would like to do. Adam says, what about using Repashy gel food for fry? Have you been able to try that yet? Letting them graze on it. So I've done that in the past. And Adam, you're not gonna like me for this one. I have not made Repashy gel food in probably like a year. It's been a long time since I used that. But Repashy is excellent for that. So you could use the thing with Repashy is it's so universal because you could actually feed the powder form to fry, right? It's going to be really fine powder. But then when you make a batch of it, you could drop in a small cube into it and they could just sit and go graze on it. So they actually have, I think they have one geared towards raising fry, which I think I need to add into my arsenal because I can rotate it into my feeding schedule and all that. So Adam, I think I need to place an order. I think I need to get me some more Repashy up in this business. Lefty says, I don't know where you got that micro, but you overpaid. Corey sells it for $5. Let's take a look at that. Because I actually bought it from Corey, but it was also I've had that specific bottle for a while. So it's not like I just bought it, but let's take a look here. I'm so happy I figured out that share screen. It makes this so much more fun. So yeah, so it looks like, so I know that Sarah kind of changed some things. So, no, you're right. No, I lied. I bought this bottle for $5 too. I know for a while ago it was like $12. It was expensive. It really was expensive. I want to say like Amazon, I think it still goes for that amount. So the fact now you can get that from Aquarium Co-op for $5.99 is excellent. That's good. That's a great price for that food. Yeah, but then his easy fry small fish food, it's $10, but you get this entire bottle. And I love the squeeze feature. I'm actually stealing his technology. I still need to fill these because we're going to be loading up those. But then the bulk package, like I have this bulk package, and I've burned through 2 of these already, just to kind of give you an idea of like how much I'm actually using that food. I think it's a great food. So Lefty, thank you for the correction on that because you're right. I did overpay at one point, but now that I know it's that, you better believe I'm stocking up on that. Marlon Chaser, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're back. I really am. The Extreme Nano is too big for most fry, I'd say, even for my adult green neons, really, but it's a staple for almost all of my, quote, community fish and even growing out some Geophagus and Genicara. Yeah, so the Extreme Nano is a really good food. my multis, my multi-shell dwellers have this. I don't think you knew about those. The swordtails eat this up. The rams eat this up really well. My discus eat this. What else eats this? The fish you don't know about in this tank eat this. So I have a lot of things that eat this, but for actual, like that first couple days, you're right. I do need something smaller. Yeah, Maria. Adam's a smart dude. He's so again, the code Wel-Don20. Let's drop that in the chat. And hopefully if one of my moderators can put up the link to HoustonManzanita.com, I'd appreciate that. So Wel-Don20 gets you 20% off your entire order. And Adam, I believe, sells the Repashy foods. Which is why I say I gotta look at doing an order. Gotta look at doing me an order on there, especially if he's got some Repashy I need. Marlon, I know we've moved on, but Hikari First Bites, I've used them between brine batches. Nah, do we ever really move on? I always come back to things you got going on. See, that's how my streams work. I kind of talk about what's on my brain, and you mention something, and I kind of come back here. We kind of go back to this. So what's fun about my live streams is like I have a really difficult time staying on like the topic. That's why most of the time I don't really have the topic. Sharon says, I think I want to get some native fish. I love the rainbow darter. So I know Wild Fish Tanks has some natives. We've talked about me purchasing some from him and having them in the fish room. The darters are beautiful. I've just heard they can be slightly temperamental. Slightly temperamental. Sharon, I have Repashy spawn and grow, and that's what I think it is. But your fish did not like it. I'm going to try Repashy community. I'm ordering the bulk package of fry food from Corey. So I've had good luck with the community. The bottom scratcher I've done. Is it like the Aguapo something crazy name on? I know my fish really liked. I've never really tried the spawn and grow, but surprisingly, it's the Soylent Green and then the Super Gold that my fish went nuts for. So I think that's why it's a good option, right? Because most fish you have a difficult time getting that algae into, the spirulina into, the greens, have you say, right? To really help support their system. Even a fish that likes a lot of meaty foods is going to need that green. Peter Gill, good to see you here. I appreciate you. Is frozen baby brine okay for those first couple days? Jeez. I'm sorry, my allergies has kicked in on a very unfortunate time. So you pair allergies and Tourette's, man, you got a double whammy. So Peter Gill, I think frozen baby brine is a great alternative to the live baby brine. It's practically the same thing frozen. I know some people, when they hatch the baby brine, they'll have so much of it and the leftover, the leftover they'll actually section out into an ice cube tray and freeze it, and then they just feed that every couple of days too. So I think it's a good option. It really is. It's gonna still it's because it's small enough that they're gonna be able to eat it. And the main difference is it's just not moving, but I think you'll see some good success still with that frozen baby brine. Lefty, if you want to put the link in, I'd appreciate it. So we're talking the Houston Manzanita link, as he's got some good things going on. So again, get your swag. I'm rocking mine, the Houston Manzanita t-shirt. This is one of my new favorite t-shirts. I've gotten huskier, but I appreciate it when a t-shirt fits. I hate it when I buy a swag t-shirt and I get it and it sucks. No. This shirt is awesome. It fits very well. I'm wearing an extra large. I like my shirts just slightly longer down on the waist, but the extra large, I'm not drowning in it. So these are fit to size, like size to fit to size. They fit very well. So make sure you support Adam there and get some swag going on. All right. So yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at right now. Is I'm really thinking of bringing in more of the wild type live bears. Because like you come to my fish room and it's kind of Mod Podge, right? You go to like most people's fish rooms are going to have kind of that thing at me of. Lefty says you can't post it. I forgot about that. You're true. Here. You know what, Lefty? Let's just do this. Let me pull this up. There you go, Lefty. You should be blue now. You've done great support for me. Sharon's always been a good supporter to me. The aquatic monkey business has always been a good supporter to me. So you should be blue now, my friend. Because like you go to most people's fish rooms, and it's a lot of times very specific to live bears, angelfish, discus, rams, and there's nothing wrong with that. There really is nothing wrong with that. But I've noticed too that even in those fish rooms, there's always kind of that one off to the side tank where like, yeah, but like this is my real passion. Like I love all these like this. Oh yeah, this is the gem. That's where I'm almost at. Is that the rice fish is actually the number one species I have in the fish room. That's the most of I have. But outside of that, I enjoy the variety that I have. I enjoy the variety that I get to keep. And it's like this tank up here you haven't seen yet. I enjoy the variety that tank brought in. I enjoy that I at least have one main display tank in here just because it can show it shows the fish off so well. But I enjoy that on the same rack, I have rice fish, I have platies, I have wild type live bears, I have endlers, I have guppies, I have shellies, I have swordtails, I have plecos, I have crebensis. Was that 9 different species on one rack? Like I enjoy that. I enjoy in my room that I have cichlids, I have live bears, I have plecos, I have discus, and just all these options. I just have so much options. Oh, Maria, what are you getting me from DQ? I would love me some ice cream right now. It was hot today. Man, I was out drilling those tanks. Whew, you get me in all my glory today, my sweaty glory today. That's where I'm at right now. Man, so that's what I'm thinking about. So I got a betta fish from Peter. Still haven't showed that off yet, but his name is Sonic. Absolutely love this fish. But I think what I'm thinking about is moving him from the tank he's in up to the 5-gallon nature tank, moving those endlers to a 10-gallon tank. So he'll have more space in that 5-gallon tank. It's nicely aquascaped too and look really good in that tank. The shrimp have gone bonkers in that tank. Then I can move the endlers to the 10-gallon tank because they're breeding like mad in that tank. Hopefully things aren't breaking, which would allow me to continue to focusing on that breeding. But I'm back and forth. I'm back and forth on what I want to do. Because if I set up that shelving system on this wall, we lose the live stream area. But I can always live stream elsewhere. But then that just gives me more room. I mean, that gives me, because I'm adding 4 tanks tonight, so 3 of which are going to go on this new rack next to me. That would still give me room for 3 more tanks on this rack. Then I could add 3 more tanks in that rack. Then I could add 4 more tanks over here. That just gives us so much more space. Just more room for activities. You know what I mean? So, not sure yet. Lefty says, heck, my fish room is breeding guppies, pseudomogills, and shrimp and snails. I'm a hodgepodge too. If you got some pseudomogills going, we may need to talk, my friend, because it's another thing I've really been debating on bringing into the fish room along with these wild type live bears is some rainbow fish. I've been seeing some good options to get I really like the Praecox rainbows, the dwarf, I think they call them the dwarf neon rainbows. Really like those. My old fish room, I had a pair in the 33-gallon long, and then I moved them to the 220. Just never did much with them, but that's something that I would actually really like to spawn. But I know that those fry are tiny, because that's a small fish to feed. That's a tiny fish to feed. So I know that you're getting down into like like vinegar eels and then infusoria. Like, okay, that's a nerd topic I jumped into that I found out about. So one of the fish, see how we're going? Like we're going from live bears to egg layers again. One of the fish I've actually thought about doing is gouramis. I think gouramis are an excellent option next to a betta fish, right? They're both that labyrinth breather. They have that option, but like they don't necessarily need the same heat that bettas do, and it would, I think, push people to buying the proper size tank. But I went down the rabbit hole of looking up how to breed gouramis. Then I found infusoria, and then I watched a girl talks fish who now works with the Aquarium Co-op, and I watched her video on breeding gouramis and culturing infusoria, and my brain started turning, like the wheels started clicking. So that was like, I think rainbow fishing mean the same thing, right? I'm going to go down that infusoria route, but there's just so many things I haven't done in this hobby that I want to do. So that's another thing I've been thinking about is that gourami. But we'll see, because I know Lewis has offered to bring some gouramis in for me, and those are kind of that unique fish that I just don't know if they're bred somewhere, right? They're probably farmed somewhere. They have to be. But I think there's something else I could just work on in the fish room. Would just be something cool. So Lefty and we're going to call it the Lefty and Sharon duo here. They just put down the Houston Manzanita link. So thank you for doing that. Again, Wel-Don 20 gets you 20% off your entire order through the entire website. So not just hard goods, not just Pleco Caves, not just food, all of it combined. And if you spend $100 at Houston Manzanita, you get one of the coolest holographic stickers ever. So if you were into Pokemon like I was when I was a kid, you got to collect them all. You better believe it. I'm collecting all of those Houston Manzanita stickers. So it's kind of where my mind's at tonight. I'm really hooked on those live bears, but as I was kind of look around, it's just super cool to what I have. I like the variety I have. So definitely, but again, I can't thank everybody enough though for the support that everybody's given me, because it's your support from everybody that actually, you guys allowed me to add tanks to the fish room tonight. So my goal is to continue to bring you good content. I got a lot of videos I need to actually edit. Got a lot of things up and coming. Hoping to do that tonight, I think, because after the stream, going to finish up getting the tanks installed, get them on the auto water change system, get those ready for the fish to come in. Then I think I'm going to go work on editing, get that up and running tonight. Marlin Chaser, I have some pearl gouramis, actually the first fish I ever had. I think gouramis are super cool. I think there's kind of an underrated fish in the hobby. It's one of those things that's, you get, like, because once you kind of get out of that stage of, okay, I've kept all the fish that Petco and PetSmart has, like, what's next? And then you find this expansive world of, like, Aquabid, right? We did the last live stream on. And then you find other online shops. You're like, oh my gosh, like, mind blown. There's so many fish I can keep. So then you go down that route. But then I think every now and then it's fun to loop back around to the fish that's more common, I guess, in the hobby. But it's, where I'm at right now is I've never bred these fish. I've had gouramis in the past too. I randomly, I think I had a gourami for a while there, but I've never bred them. And that's where I'm kind of at right now, is like I've bred guppies in the past, right? It's impossible not to breed guppies. I've bred mollies in the past. It's impossible not to breed mollies. But it's things like, I've never bred swordtails. And well, this is the second time breeding swordtails, but I never raised the fry up to actual adults. I've never actually had endlers before. Now I have 2 species of endlers in here. I've never had crebensis, and they're about to breed. There's just some challenges in here that I want to embark on and have. And I think that's where I'm really focused in on moving the fry system to this wall and moving the live stream elsewhere. And like Lefty said, if I could potentially even like overlay some footage, do kind of some funky green screen stuff, I don't know yet, or even just set up like a small 5-gallon betta tank on the desk as a background, something. It opens up so many more opportunities to keep fish. And yeah, it was a good day. It was absolutely a good day. Really good day. Lefty, thank you for dropping the link to my Instagram. So if you want behind the scenes stuff, check out Instagram. And I'm working on the fish room. That's where I kind of share posts to, is Instagram. It's fast for me. It's easy for me. And that's where I show a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Sharon, Trent, the honey gourami is the prettiest, nice fish, but I can only find the males. But Dan's Fish has the females. The pet stores don't carry females because they aren't colorful. That's one of the unfortunate things in the hobby, too, is like the females are always left behind. One of my local fish stores sat on like 8 rainbow fish that were all females for like a year before they finally gave them away to somebody. It's insane. So I have access to getting everything I would want on gourami standpoint from Lewis at the waterfront. But I know Dan's Fish has a lot of things. I'm actually looking at some fish that Dan has right now bringing in. So I don't know yet. So I agree with you. That's actually the one I'd want to do is the honey gourami. I think the honey golds are beautiful. The powder blues, Like, it's just so, I don't know. Like the powder blues don't do it for me. But those the honeys, the gouramis are beautiful. I think it's the pearl gourami too I really like. Then I'm a sucker for that blue eye. So the sparkling gourami is another one I've really thought about playing with. Just amassing some like guppy grass in a tank, throwing some sparkly gouramis in and let them go nuts. Beautiful. All right, we're on that hour mark. It's kind of on my thoughts. Kind of put them all out there. So I don't know how much longer we're going to go here. A few more minutes, see if anybody else has any other questions for me. That was a fast hour, though. Man, that was a fast hour. So I know I'm going to go help get my daughter down to bed, and then it's going to be taking allergy pill time and start working on the fish room. Get some things going tonight. So, all right. Well, as we're ending here, again, thank you, everybody. I know I thank everybody all the time in this. Maria, I'm interested in that. Whew, look at that. Her swooping in along that hour mark. I'm very interested in that, actually. Now, you are a lot closer than Florida. So maybe we can put something together there. Maybe do like a trade or something, or even just we'll talk. We will talk. So I am very interested in that, because the least killifish is actually just one thing I've just thought about keeping in the fish room, just because I can, right? Just to have just a cool fish is something I haven't done before. Maybe turn it into my club's breeder program if we ever have a club again. I have no my guppy club is starting to meet again, but I don't know when my main club is going to meet again. So probably I'm actually really concerned that the Greater Salt Lake Aquarium Society is done. I'm really concerned that this has killed it. I already know that we were losing our venue. We were looking for somewhere new. I think we had till the end of the year, but the last meeting was January, and now things just kind of, or maybe we did have one. I think we did have one that wasn't able to go, but the Guppy Club is definitely it's more interactive. The people were great there, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Maria. So let's talk more. Let's plan out some things, and if we need to, we can kind of coordinate through Michael. I'll have to hit him up. So, all right, everybody. Starting to lose my voice. Thank you again. I appreciate everybody being here. I enjoy these streams. I enjoy the interaction. I enjoy all of you let me talk what's on my mind, right? Getting that out there and helping you really put things in perspective. And again, because of all of you, we are able to continue the fish room. Added some tanks tonight, and literally, that honestly, I was able to fund those tanks from you. Every single one of you helped fund those tanks. So I cannot thank you enough for that, for helping me have my passion. So I hope in turn I can give back to you guys. So I think we're done for the night. Thank you, everybody. We got a new video coming out Friday for sure. I think we'll have a couple extra videos sprinkled throughout the weeks here coming. So I got some cool things I really want to share. So, Adam, thank you for being here tonight. It's good to have you here, man. So, again, guys, we're going to absolutely say it's sponsored by Houston Manzanita. Get your swag there. Get your hardscape there. Go check them out. Wel-Don 20 gets you 20% off your entire order. And we will see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, everybody.